Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain. Alright, so for this quest, it's going to bring us to the northern section of House Kundark. It's kind of near the bank here. Just kind of run around the edge. You'll see two tempered iron golems and Hazra de Kundark. Now, one thing I want to point out with this quest made to order, it is very important that you have some form of a trapper, as there's a lot of traps. Alright, so the quest itself takes place in Black Anvil Forest, which are actually two quests out here. One off to the right, kind of hugging that wall, and the one that we're going to be doing right now is the one off to the left, straight to Haywire's Grotto. Now, just due to the amount of traps in this quest, I typically skip it, even though typically I am playing a trapper-based tune. It's just honestly really annoying to do. Though the XP isn't terrible, as you see, just under 13,000 and just under 14,000 with our daily bonus. But again, just really annoying to do. Alright.
One of Haywire's trademark speaking.
So we're going to first head south and talk to our speaking stone, which will open up our door. And we're going to have these kind of tracks. Now we do want to head across. Just watch yourself with the electric traps, as they are a major pain in the butt. Once you kill the golem here, we are going to use the lever and proceed through the door. Now the primary enemy that you are fighting in here are going to be the dwarves and apparently reapers. So it's a lot of close combat fighting due to the fact of the traps, which is another reason why it's just a really annoying quest. I can't kite like I would normally do, as either I'd have to run off the edge there or deal with these traps, which are right here. Now again, the traps are random spawning. Wait for that to go away. And can actually be disabled, however, not the way that you think you can disable them. You don't disable the individual traps, rather there is going to be a box after the traps that we would be able to disable. Now it does involve you heading past the traps to find said box. And that's how you disable them. So it's really kind of annoying. One big thing that really helps is having the auto search function. Especially if you're like myself and don't run this often enough, just due to the annoyance level, not necessarily the difficulty. As you see, we are kind of taking them down fairly quick, and with a full party, it's again not too difficult, though there are a few points which does have a large amount of enemies. Alright, so there's another grouping of traps. Alright, so as well inside we are going to have tempered clay and tempered iron golems. Essentially they just have a little bit higher DR and they're a little bit stronger than their average counterparts. But they are uniquely named enemies, so if you are working on Monster Manual, they will count towards that. Now, though they are technically optional to kill, we do need to go right past them in order to select that the rune. So it does make it easier just vanquishing them rather than having to try and run past and just deal with them that way. Alright, so in here we did need to pick up that crest, which was the crest of the bat, and we're actually going to be using that later on to proceed through the quest. So make sure you pick that one up, otherwise you will have to come back for it. One plus side is there are a few points where it does have some fairly long haul, which does make for ranged characters really nice. I definitely recommend, aside from having a trapper, also having some form of range damage, if nothing else, to draw the enemies. That way, in cases like this, we can draw them out before having to deal with the traps. Making it a lot easier to proceed without having to fight and deal with the traps at the same time. Alright, so from here we're going to continue north, and I do believe if you have the ability to lockpick that there is a shrine behind these doors. Yes. So if you need to shrine, here it is. Again, it is set behind a locked door. Alright. So again, from there you want to head north, which now puts us on the base level. Which, as you see, there are several iron golems down here. You can choose to kill them while on the lava, but again, I prefer the safety and just fighting them right here. It's not that hard. Alright, so from here we do have two sections that we can hit up. I head to the northern section here first, as again, a crest that we need, and two of our tempered golems. Now, like before, these guys do become active once we approach. So you can again skip them, they're not technically a quest required objective. However, it is simply easier to just deal with them. And again, more goodies. Or rather, breakables, and we got a rem chest, so some goodies. Alright, once that is done, if you want, you can proceed through the lava to grab the rubble, like I am. However, that depends on how much of a collectible whore you are. I'm a big one, so need my collectibles. Alright, from here you want to head out the eastern side. and proceed down the hall. Alright, so let's get the hireling over here. Have them give us a top up. Alright, again it splits off, heading in two directions. Now I believe you want to make the first right.
I think my golems are watching over the crest, and that means they're watching you.
Yeah, so it would be the right here. And it will lead you in here, which should be almost the last of our golems. As well as a large amount of breakables, so on top of the breakables we also have a chest in our northern section. And another crest in the south. So again, make sure you pick up that crest. At this point we only need one more crest to pick up, and then obviously to continue on to the end of the quest where we would be using them. Alright, so once we've done that eastern section, we do want to head north. And we're going to head through this door here. So in here, again, just a whole lot of breakables, so... Oh, and a chest. I actually forgot about this one. Alright, so yeah, mostly in here, it's just the breakables. Obviously the loot is extra. And I mean, a little loot never hurt anybody. But that bonus XP for grabbing the breakables is totally going to be worth it in the end. Alright, so now we're going to proceed off to the west. Again through some traps. Now this I don't like. Try and sneak up and grab that before getting seen. There we go. So here we are back in here, just one layer up. Now if you are looking carefully, you will notice that they do have some electrical shock damage that they can hit you with. I just recommend running through as fast as you can to avoid getting hit. As you can see, sticking to the one side opposed to the other side, definitely a little bit better, as it has that additional one there. So just watch out for that. So again, that auto search coming in a lot of very handy in here. A lot of handy. Wow. Alright. So again, we're going to want to take the side path here. And heading down this one here, as you see, is a little bit longer and a little bit larger of a room. This one will have 3 golems to deal with, which will be the last of our optionals. So it'll have our last 2 clay golems, our baked clay golems, and our last iron golem there. Each worth about 850. It'll also have our last crest. So at this point here, we've gotten all the optionals. We've almost got neutralization, almost all the breakables, and all our crest. So the last few breakables should be coming up right around here. So there we are for those. Really truly hate plague reapers. Not only do they do a fairly large amount of damage, but that increased negative to your heal is really rough when you're running solo. Alright. So here, this trap is going to be annoying. So this is where it does come in handy to have evasion. Unfortunately, my build does not yet have that until we hit about level 20, or rather until we hit 20. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use jump and jump in the middle. If you are lucky like I was, get in there without hitting any traps, getting your last bonus without taking any damage. Now, I want to point out, just because you have the full trap bonus does not mean that you're out of the woods for all the traps. Do keep an eye out, as there may be more traps lingering. Alright. See, here we are again in the big room. Not quite at the top where we started, but for the most part all the way up. Now we have two paths. We have one heading out that side and one directly off to our left heading north. Now if we make the immediate left and head on in here, we should have a shrine, which would be our last ditch effort before the end fight. Now from here we are going to want to head in. Keep in mind that the one track does have a break in it, and I fell. So I'm just going to use a slash stuck and hopefully get out before we get hit by any type of trap. If not, I will have to run all the way back around. Another bonus here is if you happen to have Dimension Door, obviously it would take you back to the very beginning, which is at the very top. You would be able to feather fall down just to the first row of pipes and then continue from where we were from there. Alright, so here we are. Just got to be careful because I won't be able to use that stuck again. So as I was saying, it breaks off here, so just be careful that you don't fall like, you know, I did. And proceed to the end. Once at the end, it has all those crest slots that we needed. Place them in, and it opens up to take us to the very end of the quest. Alright, so here's those additional traps that I was mentioning earlier. It's also going to be fairly difficult to be able to walk past, so my best bet is jumping. There we go. The other thing to point out is, as you've noticed, I've taken a lot of, I've been poisoned a lot in this quest, both by the golems, by the apprentice, the acolytes. So I definitely recommend having cure potions, cure poison potions, as again, you get hit a lot, it just makes it easy.
Sound like thunder echoes from the cavernous halls to the east.
Alright, so once you get that speech, we will be able to head to our final room here. Or rather, it's a notification that you're at the final room. And here you're going to see a few golems and a giant Marut pounding on the door. Now, I recommend, personally, dealing with the ads first. As you see, he does take a while to start spawning them in. Apparently he's not going to spawn them in. Okay, there we go. I guess because we never actually approached the ads, that they never became aggro. Alright. So once you have the ads killed and the big bad boss, all that's left is to talk to Haywire. Now honestly, this is probably my favorite part of this quest. It's just the security that this guy had in place. So you're going to want to go up and talk to the speaking stone. Let him know that you're on your way. At which point he's going to start opening up all his doors. Now this guy was definitely paranoid, having all sorts of doors, barriers, blockades. Like, you are not getting in through this way. Once you reach the end, all that's left is to actually talk to Haywire.
It appears that the genius
And there you go. 18,025 minutes, so it takes a little bit of time. You do get a little bit of extra XP from the optionals there. Again, not a whole lot. And then, of course, 2 end chests. So, from my knowledge, there isn't anything named that drops from these chests, so it is just extra random loot. But again, it is an interesting quest. Again, one I don't typically run, but for you guys here, we're going to be hitting them all. So, all that's left is to turn in. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one all.